Thank you for clicking. In this video, I would like to discuss internal negative dynamics that is happening inside of so many human organizations today. My name is Dr. Samurai. I am an international social pathology professor and also an active prison counselor of 20 years experience. I'm hoping this video would deepen your understanding of underlying mechanics of what is happening in today's society for you to attain true happiness on this planet Earth. And as usual, I would like to provide you some basic information first, and then like to move on to our main discussions in the latter half. Are you ready? Okay, let's start. Negative inner dynamics in today's so many organizations. I think you agree with me when I say that today's companies or even a criminal organization has strong top-down management, including political spheres too. So we always have to watch out to survive in the organization. That said, I would like to analyze what is causing that kind of negative dynamics, especially today. Because I assume decades ago things were more peaceful and the bosses were more generous and understanding of their employees, right? There was a very famous great founder of the company Panasonic. His name was Konosuke Matsushita. Why he was great? When his company went down for some reason, deeply into red, what do you think he said? He said, as a founder, I promise you, I am not going to fire anybody, but please cooperate with me as the best you can. I would like you to even work on Saturday and Sunday to sell out all those existing stock of merchandises. And he actually did not fire anybody. While Mr. Carlos gone, he is gone now somewhere outside of Japan, hiding in a suitcase. He became CEO of Nissan car company. He immediately fired so many employees because he didn't even know them. Big difference, right? But what we see today as organizations or companies are more like the one managed by Mr. Carlos Ghosn. Why things became that way? By the way, if you like this kind of serious discussions, please click that green and yellow Good Luck Charm logos. Why things became this cold way? I'll tell you what. Generally, the founder has genuine love for their all employees because he created everything from the scratch, right? So everything is his. He's always looking at the whole picture. But what about the successors? What is the difference between founders of organizations and successors of the organization? Successors of organization, they usually come up within the organization by winning the promotion war against so many other rivals, right? You know? Boom, 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 boom. And in the end, reach the top. But before he reaches the top, there must have been some very serious enemies who threatened him achieving his goal of becoming the boss, right? Once he becomes the boss, what do you think he would feel about those rivals? They are still enemies, because he did not create the organization himself. All he focused on was winning the competitions. That's it. Everybody was his enemy. And now he is at the top. He can do anything. What do you think he would do? Getting rid of all those rivals who gave him tough time on his way up. Do you think he cares about his past enemies? Because obviously this rival was pretty much talented person too, right? Very, close level, at least. So, obviously, losing this rival weakens the potential of this whole company. But he doesn't care, because his life was winning the competition. One batch, two batch. He defeated so many rivals to get to the top. He want to get rid of everybody who stood in his way. And I repeat, because his lifestyle, his thinking pattern was winning the competitions only. So even when he hit the very top of the organization, his thinking pattern never changes. He is competing machines with others. So he usually get rid of his rival faction and would like to feel secure only with the members on his side. And he wants to reign the organization top down as the most powerful person of the organization. He wanted everybody bow down to him when they see, because he was moving up, carrying all those negative paranoia against others. So, right after World War II, most of the companies were like a first generation company managed by their founder who cared about the whole organization. But now most of the organizations and companies are managed by third, fourth, fifth, and sixth successors, right? They don't care. All they cared about was grabbing the power within the organization and privatize the organization as his own possession. He doesn't need risky elements within his possession. We see it in so many organizations. The big franchise of noodle companies split into two. One was closer to the founder, the other was more into independence. the biggest Yakuza organization, Yamaguchi-gumi. It became criminal organization of more than 10,000 members, and at the biggest, I think it became more than 30,000 members and soldiers. It became that big at the time of the third Successors, who pretty much started out with a scratch of only 30 members. But he developed it into a 10,000 member, most aggressive, violent organization. So that the third successor was practically the founder after World War II. And now it's sixth generation. 2 generations passed. Fourth was assassinated by hitmen of defected group, which tried to become independent organization. But that did not happen. Fifth successor. The organization itself reached a peaceful stage, not because of his skillful management or caring about his members, but it was that kind of time when economy was incredibly good because of their so-called bubble economy. So there's no need to fight against each other. And now it's a sixth generation. And it splitted into 3 groups because the sixth successor and his faction was too demanding financially from those secondary organizations, collecting very high tariffs from each secondary organization. And the faction, which used to be powerful because of producing the 5th successor, defected from this 6th generation Yamaguchi-gumi, complaining that the 6th generation was too greedy. But as it turned out, that the defected group was starting to do the same thing, collecting high taxes and tariffs from the secondary generation of its own. So the third group, who was disillusioned of that defected group, who upholded such an honorable slogan that everybody is equal, they felt like they were betrayed. And this third group defected from the second group, and there are 3 now. And there has been so many conflicts and shootings and killings everywhere, all over Japan. But now, several years later, second defected group seem to have made a decision to get back to the original 6th successor group. That is what is happening with Yamaguchi-gumi, the biggest criminal enterprise in Japan. But anyway, this 6th Yamaguchi-gumi is managing the organization in an extremely top-down, forceful manner. No disputes allowed. Once you do that, you are cancelled of the organization and cannot live in the underworld anymore, because it pretty much spreads all over Japan. And this sixth successor, Mr. Tsukasa Shinobu, he kept rising up to the top by defeating the most powerful faction of fifth boss. And he also grabbed some unshakable secret that the fifth boss should never have done. So he, the fifth boss, was practically pushed out of the organization, and now the sixth boss, the champion of internal competitions, he pretty much possesses this whole Yamaguchi-gumi. And this is today's value. Why it is so risky to work in today's organization, and why it is managed in such a top-down extreme manner. The answer is the boss of today's organization are generally not the founder but the successors who have been winning their internal competitions all the way up. So all the boss has inside their mind is getting rid of risky elements out of his possession. And also because he has been through so many internal competitions, he doesn't care about getting rid of powerful person who is beneficial to the organization. He put his psychological security before the competitive potential of the whole organization. This is it. I hope this explanation makes sense to you, who is especially working in some organization, legal or illegal. And I am hoping you survive, even if you are working in such a not safe environment, up until you can find a better alternative. Because we all have to protect our own families and life to do something good to the society too. Wherever you are, my friend, I would like you to hang in there to attain true happiness on this planet Earth during miraculously same time period.